So even though I never formally learned how to deal it, I went to casinos and I watched it, and I watched the way the dealers shuffled the cards. There was a special process called lacing at the time, where you took the 6 decks and then you took, or 8 decks, and you took 1 deck off and you like sliced it through, lacing through. It was just a fancy European custom that they used to use back then. They don't use it. It's been decades since they use it. And but I learned all that, and I was an efficient baccarat dealer within 2 days, and it was great. I had a job. I was pretty well secure, and it looked like that I was going to be okay. And my goal was I needed about $400 to get a plane ticket. Now, so my goal was to get a flea bag studio room, like in a hotel room, in a flea bag, and pay a weekly rate, like $50, and then try and save enough money to get home, back to New York, New Jersey, right? So I go to work, and I'm getting paid at the time, dealers were getting minimum wage, so it was like $3.50, $4 an hour, plus you made tips, and the tips were shared by all dealers in the casino. So every time a dealer got tipped, it was thrown in a tip box. And then at the end, the dealers who were in charge of that sorted out how many tips, how much cash there were or chips there were in the tips box, and they divided that figure by the number of dealers working the shift, and each dealer got that percentage, that share of the tips, and it was turning out to be like $15, $20 a night. So I was working 5 nights a week, so I was making another $100 in tips. So my whole income was like $180 a week, and now I was paying like $50 a week to live in the flea bag, and then with food and everything, I couldn't get to $400. I couldn't save any money. I could just survive. But hell, at least I was surviving. I was out of the street, right? I bought I was buying some cheap clothes. I had my white shirt and my black pants now from Sears to go to work every day. And actually, for the first time, I was like communicating to other people, who were dealers working in the casino. For that 3 weeks that I was in the street, and I was really not communicating with anybody except a few people in the dealer school, right? So it was a big improvement. I went from completely with having 1 foot in the grave to clawing my way out into a menial dealing job where I could at least survive. So that was it for 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. And in 10 months, I just couldn't put together $400. And I kind of accepted that, that maybe this was going to be my life now. And I wasn't that desperate now to go back to New York. I figured, well, what I learned is that, all dealers started downtown. They usually worked about a year, and then they looked for auditions on the Strip. Now, on the Strip, they didn't hire so-called break-in dealers, breaking into a business. All the dealers that work downtown were basically break-in dealers, where they come out of dealer school or in special circumstances like mine, and they get their first job. So on the Strip, they're not going to hire break-in dealers. They want dealers that already have experience, can really move around the table well, and get the job done in the casinos. So now I'm thinking, well, I'm starting to get real good. I can deal blackjack, roulette. I can deal baccarat. The only game I didn't know how to